Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Pernilla.
I'm Kelly.
And welcome to the From Serious to Silly Hangout.
Hi. So what we're going to do is we can mute you guys. I think I can mute you guys from this end. Or if you can mute yourselves, that would be fab. If you'd like to ask a question or you have a comment or anything, then otherwise we'll yabber on. So please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask the question, or just bring anything up that's coming up. So we'll be using the tools of access consciousness in this hangout. Is anybody unfamiliar who's on live? Everybody's heard the clearing statement before, so it goes right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, all night, shorts, boys, beyonds. Anybody that's listening in the future, if you'd like more information about that, you can go to theclearingstatement.com, and it'll give you all the download of what that is. And if you don't understand it, that's totally fine. Basically, it brings up, we ask a question, it brings up the energy. We use the clearing statement, and it basically blasts the limitations out of the stratosphere.
I love that. And I would actually like to start with one, the magic wand. So anything that doesn't allow us to have more fun and be more silly tonight than any other night, would you like to destroy and create all of that?
Yes. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, all night, shorts, boys, beyonds. I'll be your pop, pop.
Oh, I always want
to. We've got someone in the peanut gallery here as well, so yeah, how's it getting better than that?
A live audience, yay!
Like it.
Oh, where do we go? Where do we start? We have a question. Oh,
we are so beautiful. Thanks. Thanks, Celine.
Thank you so much. We have new haircuts.
We do, so yeah, we're loving it today.
Yeah. So basically, like, me and Kelly, we've gone through a couple of different phases lately, but the last couple of days or weeks, we actually came to this like lightness, and we had bar sessions where we just started laughing, and we were truly being like silly, and that space just opened up for so much, and we actually created a whole telecall based on that silliness. And you gave me a symphony possibility session. If you don't know what that is, it's an energetic session. And in that session, I asked for more silliness and more of the joy of me. And
she got it.
I got it. Let me tell you guys, I got it. And so we thought we wanted to share this space with you guys and kind of clear anything that doesn't allow everybody that would desire a more silly and more joyful space in their life. Because we're actually kind of killing ourselves when we're turning that off, when we're not being us, and when we're turning ourselves down, right?
Yeah, right. So, how many times have you been told in your life, oh, stop being so silly? Or, this is really serious. Like, you need to be serious about this.
Serious business.
Life is a serious business. Oh my God, how many times have you heard that from family, friends, bosses, just society? And does it make you feel light and airy? No. I don't know about for you guys. Like, if it does, awesome. Keep going with that. If it doesn't, what else is possible? And we're here to explore that tonight. So, if you've got questions, comments, etc., like we say, then please jump in.
Yeah. And we had a question for you guys when you signed up, like, how silly are you willing to be from a scale from 1 to 10? And it was like a really wide range of answers. Like, some of you guys were like, oh, 1 to 3, and I can only be silly when I'm with certain people. I can only be silly when I'm in a certain situation. Or I can only be silly in my head and laugh at that and not be it out loud. Some people are nodding like, yes.
Yeah.
And some people are like off the charts silly already. And that's really fun. And how much more can you step into tonight and expand into? But what I would like to say to that is, what other choices do you have available with your silliness? Like I said, I wrote a blog about this actually. I started a full-time job like a year ago now in Sweden. And I just went into this role, and I guess like all of you can relate to that. Like, if you start a job or something new or going to a meeting, like, it's easy to just put up this pretense or like a role. And that's what I did. And I just was really quiet, and I was observing everybody else and what they were doing in order for me to fit into the group. And so it just got more heavy and heavy and more boring and more boring. And I was just turning myself down and diminishing my very being more and more and more. And so luckily I had a friend that was coaching me at the time. And so she asked me, she's like, Pernilla, what if you can actually be you there at work? And the first thought was actually, wow, no, I'm going to get fired. You know, there's no way I can be me, because that would be so like too outrageous. It would be too crazy, and I would be like kicked out. I wouldn't fit in at all. But I was like, oh, I got to give it a go, because I was killing myself. I was so bored by not being me. So I actually tried it out, and guess what? I was not fired. I actually invited the whole office to lightness, to joy, to more fun, to more silliness. Yay, Johanna is giving me the thumbs up. And it was more fun for me to invite them to my space instead of trying to fit into their like small, like kind of contracted realities. So everywhere we've turned ourselves down or off in order to fit in. Everywhere we made that real valuable, real valuable and significant.
Yeah.
Can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Times I get silly and right, wrong, good and bad.
Right, wrong, good and bad.
Let's do it 2 times for extra power.
Absolutely. The other thing I wanted to say with that as well is, you know, when we go into a situation, even if it's like could be a job role, or we just walk into a room somewhere or in a group, you know, how aware are we all of everybody, like the stuff that's going on in everybody else's heads? You know, where they're like, oh, I couldn't possibly say this. You know, I have this crazy sense of humor. I couldn't possibly be me. You know, I can't tell this joke. Well, just all of that stuff, you know, where you're so super aware. And when we don't acknowledge that awareness too, and we think that we're totally crazy, it doesn't give us the space to actually be us, whatever that looks like, however that shows up. So, you know, we walk into a room and we will, instead, like, you know, you can go in as this space, the space of you, and then you go in and you equalize to everybody else, or to the person in the room that is the most contracted, because you don't want them to be feeling bad around you. So you go, okay, awesome. Okay, so I'll just sit here and I'm going to sit and die in the corner right now.
Put my arms in off so I can fit in.
Exactly. Oh, mosquito.
Oh, mosquito. You got bloody on your leg.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, how much fun is that?
Yeah.
Really? None. So everything that is, and everywhere that you are unwilling to acknowledge your awareness and actually be the space of you and invite everybody else to that possibility, you destroy and uncreate all of that, please.
Yes.
That's it.
Right, wrong, good and bad, fun o'clock, all night, show place.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we had, has anybody got any questions before? We've got a question that someone's sent in, but has anybody got anything, questions, queries, comments?
I can see their heads turn.
I know, right? It's like,
well, let's just do that one. So.
Okay, cool. So Mandy has sent a question that says, deep down inside, I know I'm silly and fun, yet I only allow that side of me to come out occasionally when it feels safe, in inverted commas. If I'm feeling nervous in groups of people or at presentations, social environments, I hide it by being serious, thereby burying my inner silly me. What would it take for this to change with ease? And how do I tap into the silly energy quickly?
That's an awesome question.
It is an awesome question.
Because I'm sure like all of us have been in that situation where we actually put barriers up. Like we think that that is going to protect us, but all it does is actually keeping us from being as aware as we truly be, and it keeping everything out. And it actually hurts our sweet bodies when we do that. So I would say number one, like push your barriers down and just expand out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And again, with what I was saying before about, you know, what is it yours? You know, with the, what she says about feeling nervous. How many people are comfortable in groups? Like really? You know, what if the nervousness wasn't yours? What if the nervousness wasn't nerves? What if it was excitement? What if you and your body knew that you could invite people to a totally different possibility, and your body was like, ooh, but you bought it as nerves instead of as excitement?
Yeah, so just ask, is this nervousness or is it excitement?
And you might be surprised. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going running that.
Yeah.
Also with the tapping into the silly energy quickly, like I have put on a facade for so long about being really serious, like, or with people's projections as well. Like I'm a Capricorn, right? So I get, I don't follow astrology or anything. My mother does though. So for my whole entire life, she's basically like, you're a Capricorn, you're super serious. That's how you are. That's how you show up in the world, blah, blah, blah. How many projections, expectations, separations, judgments, rejections, points of view, etc., refined judgments have we all bought about who we are, how we should act, how we should show up in the world? Oh, quite a few.
And everything that is. Just trying to create that. Right around getting back on park on the shoppers meals. Yeah, all those passage juniors, as we can call it, short speak, that have been put on you and your body, can we now just join and create a return to sender with consciousness attached?
Yes.
Right around getting back on park on the shoppers meals. And I would say, for me at least, it was a choice to choose to be the silly me and to show up as me. And it's a choice. It's not a choice you make once. It's actually a choice you make every 10 seconds for the rest of your life. Am I going to be me or not?
Yeah.
And every time we're putting up a front or barriers or not being us, we're actually separating from us.
And I wonder what your version of silly is.
Yeah.
Where we've judged, it might be, your version of silly might be telling a joke somewhere. It might be wearing something that you think is a little bit outrageous.
For Lisa, it is sitting on a big blown up swan in the water, having a drink.
Pretty cool. Yeah. So what if so all the judgments that you have about silly and all the refined judgments and specificities that you're aware of about silly and that you've bought from everybody else.
And what it is and what it isn't.
And what it is and what it isn't. Will you destroy and uncreate all of those, please, and return them to sender?
Right now, I'm getting about on that show with me and everything that doesn't allow you guys to receive now, be and receive what silly is for you. And start asking, what is silly for me? And you can start playing with it. Johanna's like, I wonder what it is for me. And see, because as soon as we ask a question, right, the universe is going to give us more information. So if you would keep asking, see what shows up, because like it's such a fun space, the silly space. It's like, remember when we were on the table and we were in each other's bars, like it was like uncontrollable, it was chaos, it was like creative chaos. It's like this space of everything is allowed, nothing is judged. It's actually when we're being the consciousness of us,
and being that, that childlike wonder. When you see children and Johanna's just written that. Yes, basically about childlike, outrageous magic. Yeah. So you see children and children don't go, oh God, am I being silly? Like they just go play, whatever that looks like for them. Or they'll shove on a bloody bath towel around their shoulders and be a superhero and, or run around the playground or we've been talking in like the stupidest foreign accents
and playing
to each other
words,
all week. And it's, when we make things serious and significant and, like that heavy, like everything is so real. How much are we destroying our bodies, killing the planet, destroying our money flows? How much fun can you actually have when you're making everything so solid and so contracted and so real? Yeah. What if none of this was real? How much fun could you have being the most outrageous, childish, silly person you could possibly be? Has anybody seen Dane's last vlog? If you haven't seen it, go onto YouTube. It's vlog number 4, I think. Oh my God, right. So we were in the he did most of it in Noosa. So we were in the in the ESB class in Noosa about 3 weeks ago now. And anybody that hasn't seen Dane, Dr. Dane here facilitate, anybody who's looking at this in the future, have a look at him on YouTube is all I'm going to say. So he has this like childlike sense of exuberance and just being him, because he knows that when he's being him, it changes things and it invites people to a totally different space.
And he's playing with everybody.
Exactly, and it allows them to be them. So anyway, in the vlog, I won't give too much away, but let's just say he's on Noosa Beach in front of a restaurant dancing. That's all I'm going to say. Go watch it. It might just change your reality, because, you know, when we're willing to be that present, that turned up and turned on, how much do we then invite everybody else to be that space of them? No, whatever that looks like for them. And it might just be that they laugh out loud and that's silly for them. It might be that it inspires somebody to go freaking join him on the beach. I don't know. But whatever that is for you, what if that was an invitation for you to step into that space of silly?
Yeah, and that's also the willingness to receive judgment. Yeah. And he didn't turn himself down when he perceived all the judgment from people like, oh, he's loud at the restaurant, or why is he dancing in the street? He was actually just seeing it as a contributive energy. Like, what if all energies could be a contribution and not judge them as good or bad? Like, what if everything, even the anger, even the judgment, just let it go through your body and like receive the energy, because it's just energy. That's all there is. And judgment are not real at all. So just turn it up and see what happens. And another thing is like money follows joy. So the more you're willing to be you, which is energy, space, and consciousness, which is playfulness, which is the childlike wonder, the more money you're inviting into your life every day, because you're willing to be that space of it. Money likes coming to the party of like silliness and
totally.
And silly for me, and I've noticed in you too, is a little bit naughty. Like I joke with her like every day. Like as soon as I give her an idea or anything, I'm like, oh, just put it on your invoice. That's okay. You owe me quite a lot of money now, but that's pretty okay. You know, we're laughing.
I do. I owe a fortune. Yeah. Money follows joy, though. So yeah. Hey, what am I receiving? Right.
I'm sure I owe you money too.
Well, you know,
maybe a little bit.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
And what happens to your body when you laugh? You open up, your face actually looks like it's having some fun. You know, again, what invitation is that to people to be like, oh, okay, I don't know what they're, you know, it's not necessarily about
I'm stealing your drink, by the way.
I know, thanks. Give me another one. And I've totally forgotten what I was saying. But anyway, everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, what I was just supposed to be on.
You're like, you bitch, you stole my drink.
I know. I'm like, that's
I lost my train of thought.
God damn.
Okay. I thought you were my partner in crime.
I know. Like, you just can't get co-facilitators nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna fire me.
Yeah. Add that to your invoice.
I'm way too silly. Yeah. Oh, well.
Hang on, I'm just reading the chat. Yes, silly disruptive energy of this clunky reality. So what if you could be the disruption that is required here? Whew. Thank you for that. So anywhere that doesn't allow you to be, the disruption that you truly be.
And the destroyer of seriousness.
Yes.
And significance.
Will you destroy and create all of that, please? Times the gods of you.
Right, I'm going to be on the show for I didn't see anybody get excited about being the destroyer of significance. And somebody's like, that's awesome. What if you can just go out into the world, not separating from you, and just turn it up and see what happens?
So I'm going to put a question out to you guys. Like, what makes you so freaking uncomfortable that you think I couldn't possibly do that in public? Feel free to unmute yourselves. Or I'll unmute you and put you on the spot.
For me, it actually ties a lot to when I go into proving, like in work situations, or where there is set form of how you're supposed to do it, right or wrong and good or bad, like work or parenting. That's where the seriousness comes in most, I think.
Yeah. So is that the form and structure of what you're supposed to?
Yeah, and proving that in work, obviously it's proving that you can receive your paycheck, more or less. There's a lot of proving connected to work.
Yeah. So is there
rather than what?
space with that to bring the silly that you be in?
Say that again.
Is there the space with that proving energy? Is there then space for you to bring in the silly? Or
No.
negate the other?
No, cannot. Proving negates the silly.
So everywhere that you're choosing that because everybody else is choosing that, we just
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be like the other ones.
How many times, how many times have we told that too? And this reality kind of frowns upon people being different.
Oh yeah.
Being,
sticking out from the crowd.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, and being too happy. I mean, you can actually get comments like, "What are you doing? Laughing at work?" Like it's supposed to be a joke, but in the same time, they actually mean it too.
Yeah, there's some underlying meanness of.
Yeah, like a little bit like,
All the refined judgments and schematics. So basically that is like the super, super, super subtle judgments that come under everything else. Anybody that doesn't. Yeah. So all of those that you're perceiving everywhere else on the planet, apparently, we destroy and create all of those, please return to sender.
yes.
Right on, good and bad, fun, pop, natural, poison, beyonds.
Cool. What's the ultimate belief for anybody else? How would you have to show up to be judged as being silly? Everything that is, we destroy and uncreated, all please.
Right on, good and bad, fun, pop, natural, poison, beyonds. And everything you think is going to happen if you choose silly, can we destroy and create that one?
Yes, right, wrong. Good, bad, pop, natural, poison, beyonds.
Like for me, I actually thought that I could get fired by choosing to be me, and it actually turned out the opposite. So what if you can just try it on, and if it doesn't work out, just go back to turning yourself down and being serious again.
Serious, depressed, killing yourself,
unhappy,
yeah, no money.
And like if you would get fired, maybe it's time for something new too, where they actually can allow your silliness and appreciate it and adore you for your silliness. And also, would you be willing to trust yourself when it's the time to be silly and when it's the time not to be silly? And trust the consciousness of you that whatever pops out of your mouth is actually what's required to be spoken. Because we are really aware beings. We are really aware of what people can hear and not hear. So what if you could just try on to trust you and trust your consciousness of the being you be?
And everything that doesn't allow that with total ease, we destroy and create it all, please.
Fight your own good and bad on the show.
I perceive that maybe what I'm doing it's silly.
What are you doing?
Yes, access facilitators and my activity. Yes.
Oh, so that for you. Hang on. So that for you is silly.
Yes, judge from the other. I perceive that the others, that not in what I'm doing,
okay,
judge me as silly doing that.
Okay, cool. So is that?
Yes, sorry.
That's more of a not you. Okay. So is that then you? Are you showing up as you then?
Are you what?
When you are being a facilitator, are you showing up as you?
Oh yes. No, it's just some of friends and family. No, I'm not been chilling with them. But anyway, I don't know if it's just what pop up, but it's not the same topic maybe.
It's a great question stroke comment.
Some people use silly as a judgment. Like when we speak about judgment, it's actually, no, it's not judgment. When we speak about silly, it's about the space when you're actually being you. And some people might say like, oh, you're just being silly. Like they don't take you seriously or they're not think you're credible. But what if it's actually the opposite, that they're actually like seeing you showing up in the world and it kind of pinched them because they get reminded that, oh shit, I'm not doing what I really would like to do, and I'm not being me. And when they see you being that, they're trying to pull you down again, especially if they're friends. No, I mean family. We joke and say that family are the acronym who are fucked up and mainly interested in limiting you.
So the fact when I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm always me. But when I'm not me, it's with part of my friends and family. I'm not me, but I don't care.
So then are they seeing you, when you're showing up, you being you as a facilitator, is that when the judgment comes in? So then they can look at that, and that's when they want to diminish you back to what they think you should.
Yes, but I don't talk about that, so they don't see in me that they don't see me, in fact, because I'm not me when I am with them. But it's not the subject. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking about that.
Right. So would it be fun for you to actually show up as you in your family? Would it be more fun for you to fuck with them and to be your silliness, and would it be more easy and fun for you to hang out with them?
Yes, but
Yes,
but because I can perceive all the judgment, conclusion, everything they have on me. Sorry?
Would you be willing to receive that though, with no point of view?
Yes.
So what if judgment?
I can perceive all the judgment and conclusion and projection they have on me. I don't care, but so yes, maybe I care if I'm not me with them.
Yeah. So everything that is, and every way you're telling yourself you don't care, but you really do care, and you're choosing not to be you.
Yes.
All of that, please, and return it to sender.
Yes.
I'm just looking at that. Like he was smelling me. Yeah, and I just live today. Is it okay if I? Did you have anything else, Silly? Or is it okay if I mute you?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
I was just a bit noisy. Yeah, I did this silly Facebook Live today talking about everything we have got going on now. And it's just like it's more fun for me to be the silliness of me, and I think it's way more fun for everybody to watch too. And I just asked Kelly, I was like, do you have anything you would like to contribute with? And she was like, yeah, I'm exfoliating my butt. Do you want to see? It's like impossible not to laugh. It's just like, for me, it's like getting harder to do and choose anything else when you're around this every day. So what other choices is actually possible that you're telling yourself isn't possible, and everything that is really just trying to create it. So any other questions popping up in your heads, bodies?
So what have you?
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So for me, I think there's something that's sticking me and that I'm not letting me being silly. And I don't know if you can sort of help me with that, but yeah, so the thing is, when I started my my career, I actually have a PhD in science, and even when I say that, I feel serious, and then I moved on to being a high school teacher, and now I moved on to be an access bias practitioner, and that's all I do now. But I just feel the judgment of people having expectations of me having a science PhD. I should be serious and I should be doing this or that, and it's so heavy. And I know I'm so much more me now than I was when I was doing that research stuff. But I don't know, there's something that's not, like, even now when I talk, I feel tense because there's something I'm not releasing about that. So what energy I would like to ask a question. What energy, space, and consciousness could I be to be the silliest science PhD that's ever existed?
See, that's a brilliant question. And everything that doesn't allow you to be the silliest scientific PhD person on the planet, you destroy an anchor.
Later on the show with
I mean, how much
silly scientist on the list.
as soon as you said the word science, everything just kind of went yeah. You know, how much do we make, you know, things like science and maths and, you know, all of those heavy subjects that you have to, there's so much significance about them all over the planet with them, you know, like rocket scientists and, you know, it puts a rocket in the sky. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty serious. What if we saw it as just miraculous? You know, what if we could bring the miracle energy into it? You know, that the planet through science is actually showing us a miracle it is. And how silly is nature? You have to look at some animals and, you know, some insects and you're like, what the hell are you? But you're amazing. So what if we could turn around the energy of, you know, how we perceive science? What if we just turned that energy around 180 degrees and invited the rest of the planet to see science or maths or any of those heavy subjects in a totally different way? I know that you're not choosing to be a scientist now.
No, that's fine.
But
yeah, I just had something there with your body. So everything that is locked in your body, all the projections of that you need to really serious and significant and solid. And for everybody on the call and everybody listening, everything that's been locked into your body as a result of all of those projections, expectations, separations, judgment, and rejections, can we destroy and uncreate it and unlock it on 3? Yes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's just a way to shift the energy and change whatever is going on in your body. So just expand out and let it dissipate from your body. Whew. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
is there anything else?
I remember like once while I was doing that PhD, I was at a seminar or something to learn how to work, like how to be perfect to work in a company or something. And my body started shaking and I ended up in hospital just because it was so not me that I just couldn't take it. But at that stage, I wasn't connected to my body, so I didn't know what was going on. But just recently, I realized actually my body was just telling me, go away from this place. Wow, that's amazing.
Our bodies are so smart. I'm glad and grateful that you listen to it, because it gives us information every day. And when we're actually silly and fun and us, we can connect and talk to our bodies even more. Because actually every time we make something significant, solid, or serious, we lock it in and we can change it. So everything is actually the opposite of what it appears to be. Like we're taught to be serious and significant in most places, which actually doesn't create, because it locks us in our bodies, and the situation can't change. So it's actually really, really, really silly that is how our fucked up reality functions. We actually have called Unfuck Your Life, and because like this reality can be pretty fucked up. I actually like realized it more and more the last couple of days.
But you don't have to be.
Right, exactly. What if you
And actually going on from where you were talking about there, you know, going and being a scientist and being told you have to be perfect, etc., or learning how to be perfect. And everything that is, can we just run and create it? Oh, yuck. Right, we'll give that pop-up or So I grew up, well, I trained as a professional ballet dancer with the Royal Ballet from the age of 10 onwards. So pretty much everything from my age of 10 to 19 was serious, significant. It was all about being perfect. Like we used to get smashed every day about, you know, how our bodies weren't perfect. It was all about how crap you were, basically, and how you didn't fit into the, you know, the perfection. There was absolutely no space at all to, one, be a child, you know, still at 10 years old, and to actually to be you. you know, that either you were, well, we were all trained to be exactly the same. You know, we had to look the same, you know, all of our bodies had to be the same, you know, even the way that, you know, when we dance, we had to line up exactly the same way, you know, with our legs at the same height, blah, blah, blah. And just with you saying that, I just really got the awareness of how much I'd actually locked into my body, the seriousness, significance, perfection.
Perfection is something
perfection is, yes, absolutely. That I have then dragged along with me since then. Again, with all of that projection, but also the projections and expectations that I put on myself for that amount of time. And my body did a similar thing. I actually fractured my back when I was 19 because my body just went, we're out. I'm not doing this anymore. This is crap. So yeah, actually, let's talk a bit more about perfection.
Yeah, because like if you're thriving or striving for perfection, you're required to judge you 24/7. And when you're in judgment of you and when you're striving for perfection, you can't be silly. Because if you're silly, you can't have judgment. When you're silly, you're being the joyful space of you. So if you notice yourself tending towards going towards perfection, that is the road of judgment, basically. Bless you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Right, you're going to what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be out of perfection, out of control, out of form, structure, out of significance, out of concentricities, out of linearities, for all eternity, and everything that doesn't allow that comes against silliness, destroying and uncreate it all. Gosh, we're clearing. Clearing for the whole world.
And the other thing with being out of control, you know, what if that was the silly energy that was required too?
Celine is processing for everybody on the call too, like all the unconsciousness off here for us. Thank you.
Yawning.
Thank you for contributing. So,
how much control do we have going on in our lives? You know, is there space when we are controlling everything to the nth degree? Is there space to be silly? You know, are we willing then to actually be seen and judged as being silly? Or are we controlling everything so it doesn't actually go out of this tiny weeny box that we can, you know, like, and we've got capacities for control. I'm a control freak of magnitude. And it's then when I let that control go and I'm willing to actually, you know, I don't know, go on the shopping trolley and run down the aisle, like when you hold on to it and you just whiz down the aisle. You know, I don't know, somebody could be there turning around the corner. I just have to use my awareness and choose it. But, you know, when I choose that space of silly, I actually let down all my barriers. I let down everything and I'm like, I'm just going to be me. And everything that doesn't allow you to be you, whatever that looks like, whether it is whizzing down the shopping centre aisle in the trolley, or whether it is whatever that looks like for you, you destroy and uncreate it all, please.
Yes, right on getting back on the shop. It can be such a small thing, just like talking a little bit extra and making a joke with the cashier. It can be like just being the contribution you naturally be in the world and showing up as you. Like, what a gift. And we've been talking about a lot lately about value. And when you start to acknowledge the value of you, you can also step into more silliness, because then you're like, oh wow, I know I have capacities and I know I have superpowers, and you know what it creates in the world to be you and show up as you. So the more you can start to acknowledge you and value you and your capacities, you can actually step into a greater space of silliness.
And who doesn't need more silly?
Yeah,
really. You know, what if we were all, even just to have the willingness to be a bit silly. We don't even have to turn it up to 10. You can just do it to 1. For now. Your home play is to obviously turn it up greater than that. Thank you. And we'll be checking.
Yeah. What's your silly skill today? Have you gotten higher?
But, you know, having the willingness as well to choose that and to turn you up, no matter what that looks like. No matter how uncomfortable that is. Because I'm not saying it's going to be, you know, unicorns and rainbows. Initially, it might be super uncomfortable. But what if that was just, you know, that tiny weeny little push through that then your whole life just went woof from there. So everything that doesn't allow you to push through to the woof, we just try and uncreate all of that, please.
Yes, right now I'm getting that one of ownership was me. Yes, and trust that and follow the lightness. Like, oh wow, it is light to go down the thing with like Kelly did, and or just follow the lightness, and that's always going to create more for you in your life. And thing that hit me when I talked about something earlier was that animals doesn't do anything to fit in, do they? No, she's working with animals. Like that's so weird. It's like a concept and a construct we people have created, and kids doesn't do it either when they're young.
Well, it's based on judgment.
Yeah, and then we grow up and we judge ourselves, and other people learn how to judge. And yeah, when I was younger, I was like, oh wow, shit, I'm never gonna fit in, because I saw this soap opera, and they were screaming one minute and they were happy the next and laughing, and I was like, shit, I'm never gonna fit in there, because I don't know when to scream and when to be happy. Like, can we just all be joyful all the time?
No, have you not got that? No, you cannot be joyful all the time.
And when I was joyful all the time, people were like, oh, she's hiding something. She has repressed her feelings. There must be something wrong with her.
There is something wrong with you.
Yeah,
You're silly.
Yeah. And that's like the biggest offense in this reality ever.
Yeah, judgeable offense. So everywhere that you've bought being silly and having the childlike wonder and actually being you as a judgeable offense, will you please destroy and uncreate it all and return that shit to sender?
Right, wrong, good and bad from ownership was meals. And I think a lot of people do not put value on being silly, and maybe that's why we don't have like 500 people on the hangout, because they don't see the value in it.
People are like, silly, I don't want to be silly.
No.
Happy, I don't want to be happy.
I want to be successful.
I want to be trauma and drama. Trauma and drama is what creates in this planet. God, if you can't be traumatic and dramatic, then do you fit in?
Yeah, what is it we see on TV? We don't have a TV, but like
we just sit and watch the corner.
Or our fireplace. That's not even on. It's so darn hot.
And drink.
We just drink, sit around and drink, and we trade a lot of body work.
Oh, but yeah, we were going with the trauma and drama, weren't we?
I don't know. Yeah, you can go wherever you want. I don't care.
I think I was in the middle of a sentence. So whatever that was.
I'm also really good at interrupting people.
Me too.
Maybe we shouldn't have
just like, she said what? I don't know.
Shit, we planned all of these events and we never even tried to go soon.
God damn.
How will it work out? Good thing this was for free, so we don't have to.
We don't have to refund you. Yes.
That saves us the trouble. That's good. It helps pay for work.
I like it. Yeah. So has anybody got anything else coming up? We've got 15 minutes to go, and
if you guys can handle it. A lot of people can't have more attention span than 45 minutes.
No.
We'll see. 10 minutes. For me, I know that's true, actually. So, yeah.
Anything?
No, I was just getting gigglish at the idea of kind of bringing the silly into the dating arena, because that's a very serious place too. I was just like,
you should bring that up. So this week, I brought silly into the dating arena.
Oh, do tell.
Yes, it went down like a lead balloon.
Well, how fun would that person have been for you to play with then? I think it's an excellent way of screening process.
I have to be quiet because he lives next door.
And our windows are open.
Whoopsie. And we're actually putting this on YouTube, so hi. So anyway, I will be careful of what I'm saying, but yeah.
Well, just for the record, for not destroying that person's ego, there's nothing wrong with it if it doesn't fly or be gigglish. It was just not a match that was perfect for these 10 seconds. So.
And I actually found that the sillier I was willing to be,
I love her diplomatic answer.
I know.
Yeah. But it's true too.
I'm not gonna interfere.
That's okay. That's my job. Yes. So as I was willing to be more silly and be more of me, I could feel this guy going, "Holy shit! Like what the hell?"
Yeah.
And really, and I was like, I'm just going to invite you to my space. If you want to play, that's cool. If you don't, no worries.
Exactly.
but it was really interesting, the stuff that was coming up in his world, and I get that he didn't receive that, and that's cool. But I then got to a space where I was like, okay, I'm actually not willing now to turn myself down.
Exactly.
To go back to, you know, I was very aware of his headspace, very aware of him and everything that was going on in his head. And the other thing that was really interesting was I was picking everything out of his head. So it was coming out of my mouth that I knew he wanted to say. And it was like I had Tourette's syndrome. Right?
Oh, that's so funny.
My brain and my mouth. It was just like blah, 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 all this stuff coming out. A little bit of innuendo, because that's just who I be. And I could see this poor guy just kind of going, oh my God, who is this woman?
Oh my God.
But then I wonder how much, you know, and not necessarily this guy in particular, but people, you know, when we are being that space of us and truly stepping into that space and turning it up, how much judgment is going on in their world, because they're judging themselves, because they would really actually like to be and be able to be and say and do those things. And again, as I was saying, I was picking it out of his head. It wasn't even mine. But they're judging themselves so much that they can't actually do that. So then they have to turn that round. If they cannot receive, they have to turn that round and send it back to you with daggers attached. So, you know, then, you know, we perceive the judgment. And first of all, I was like, holy shit, like, wow, you know, until I was pod popping in my head and blah, blah, blah. You know, and clearing a lot of all of that and just being really aware of, oh, okay, cool, this isn't mine. If I had bought it as mine, you know, I would have then stuck myself with it. But basically where I'm going with that is, what invitation can we be to people to choose that space for them? And it might not, like with him, for example, it may not be that he ever chooses that for him, and that's cool. But what if he does? It could be 20 years down the track. Like, oh,
exactly.
I'm having a conversation with this woman.
Yeah.
And, you know, X, Y, Z. She frightened the shit out of me. But, you know.
You planted a silly seed.
I planted a seed.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly that. How awesome is that?
One day it might spurt or die. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's not your job to find out.
No. So how many sillies can you plant? Whether it is in a dating situation, in a work situation, in a friendship situation, in a family situation.
I don't have many family left, so.
Couldn't handle your silliness, they had to die.
Wow.
Yeah, I killed them with my silliness. They couldn't follow. I killed them off.
Super silly.
Don't come near me if you're not prepared to be silly. You're gonna die.
I'm killing you with my silly powers.
Wow.
What if being silly was a superpower?
It is.
Would you be willing to claim, own, and acknowledge the powerful, potent superhero that you truly be with your silliness?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
Yeah. To be the silly superhero you truly be, you destroy and create it all.
Captain of silliness. And also ask for silly playmates to show up.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
didn't almost dare to think, but I asked for a beautiful house with creative playmates, and now I have Lisa and Kelly and Amanda right now, and it's like even greater than I could have imagined. Like, there's always someone around that to trade with or bounce ideas, or a guy to drink champagne with, or whatever you want to do. So, like today, we just walked in saw the dogs playing on the doggy beach.
And what if we were willing to, you know, how many times do we all know about the 10-second increments, you know, choosing. Thank you. I'm really glad there's two of us, because my brain just goes, stop. Sometimes. Comes to a hill and it goes, I just can't make it up. And then Pernilla comes in, or she interrupts me, and then I never get there.
And I claim the brilliance to be me.
Well, I know, right?
I'm like, I can save this, and I can take it out of your head and pretend it was me.
And I'm like,
that's my capacity. Stealing stuff out of your head.
And what was I talking about? 10-second choices. Okay, so
That was so 10 seconds ago.
so 10 seconds ago. So 10-second choices. Anybody that doesn't know about 10-second choices, what if you had 10 seconds to live? What would you choose? Okay, you got 10 seconds to live. What would you choose? Okay, you got 10 seconds to live. What would you choose? I know that wasn't 10 seconds, so nobody have a go at me about that.
That's your version.
That's my version. I'm super fast, so that's my version. So what if the choice was only good for 10 seconds? So, okay, if you choose, okay, I'm going to be serious here. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Now I'm going to be silly. Like, what little time bomb can you place in your life and in somebody else's life in that 10 seconds?
And also, what if you can indulge yourself completely in being serious for as long as you want? Because if you have 10 seconds, then you can just totally like, oh my God, I'm so serious. Like, this is so significant. And then just indulge in it until you're so over yourself that you have to choose something else. Like, oh my God, he can't receive me.
I did have a moment like that, I have to say. Oh my God, he can't receive me. I'm so wrong. I can't flirt with anybody. He thinks I'm crazy.
And that's okay.
And he does. And that's okay too.
Yeah, because a lot of people also judge you for, they discover how little they are of themselves, and then they judge because they see in you maybe what they were like when they were kids, or what they wish they dared to be. Because it takes courage to be silly, you guys.
Yeah.
I hope you know how
silly you are.
Courageous you are, and it takes courage to be you and show up as you in the world. And that's what ultimately is going to give you everything you're asking for. So yeah, the judgment part. Yeah, I think that was it.
And that's actually really awesome for the people that are on this right now, and for the people that are watching in the future. Will you please acknowledge how courageous you are? For whether it's choosing to be silly just for 10 seconds of your whole entire life.
She's dancing around.
I know. You know, the courageous superhero that you are.
We must have done something right, because people are dancing at the end of our hangout.
I know. See, and we have maybe kept you entertained. I'm not sure whether you're entertained or not. For 54 minutes.
Oh my God. And that's also a thing, like when you're trying to be right or wrong, like usually we try to be right. Right. And what if like the ultimate freedom is to be able to be wrong and get out of the rightness?
Yeah.
So everywhere we're forcefully trying and demanding to be right all the time, which takes it so much more energy than just being the silly you. Can we just try and create that?
Yes.
I'm so silly. Right now I'm going to put a on the drop. Okay. I think we're done. And the last
I just
yes.
Just wanted to say
go.
Recently I've been quite silly, and then people would like not know how to take it or judge me or something, and they would say, how can you take it so lightly? And I would just want to laugh even more, like just because I don't see the significance, and they're getting angrier at me because I don't take it seriously.
Yeah, awesome. And you know what that
so
is?
they don't.
That's a wedgie. So you're putting a wedgie in their universe.
No.
I think you look like a really serious person, so I think maybe you should go back to that and do that really
I think you should tone it down.
Yeah.
I think you should be serious. And I am really joking. Please don't take that.
I'm glad you're choosing.
So am I. I mean, what invitation is that? You know, for the people around you, to see the lightness that you be, to perceive the lightness that you be, for that to be an inspiration for them to go, oh, hang on a minute.
There are different choices.
Yeah, I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I'll have some of that.
You know, and what contribution could that be to your business?
Exactly. How many
to your money flows? Yeah, to your life.
Yeah.
So everything that doesn't allow you to receive the judgment for being the silly you truly be.
The silly goose you truly be.
You destroy and uncreate it all, please.
Right.
And I think that you're receiving it. That clearing was for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
And you can't be serious if you have curly locks like you, because it's way too cute to be serious.
And you dance
Yeah.
on the Zoom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always loved dancing, and as you were sharing before, Kelly, about dancing and I've taken dance classes since I was like really tiny, but it was so strict and serious that I've never enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then when I was older, I just had so much fun just dancing like in clubs and like going on the table or on the bar and just dancing and not caring about like all those rules, just listening to the music and dancing. And that's what I like. It's not, oh, you have to do that step first and then at number 3 you do this step and like, oh, like,
all that fun structure as well, which really kills the creativity. But also, it's like, what if it wasn't? And I absolutely adore you for being on a bar dancing, FYI. But what if it, like, for other people on this call who just think, holy crap, I could never do that. Pop that for starters. What if you could? But what if it was just about you being silly for you?
Yeah.
So what silliness can you be? And I know that you were being silly for you by being on the bar, but some people just can't do that. So what silliness can you be for you? What if that was putting on some music and dancing in the kitchen? You know, what if that was I was sitting in my bedroom the other day and I put socks on my hands and I was talking to each other. And I've said that now on a YouTube video. So but it made me laugh.
She was also dancing in the rain naked the other night.
I did. I went out in the rain. It was pouring with rain, and my body said, "We're going outside." And I was like, "Excuse me, body? Okay." It was really warm. We live in Queensland. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was torrential rain, so I went outside naked, and I was dancing in the garden. You know what joy can that bring your body, the planet? Like, how much does the planet require us to be silly?
And I just remember our tagline, like, be your sparkle. Or
Regain your sparkle.
So what if you right now can go out into the world and be your unique sparkle into the world and sprinkle that shit everywhere?
Sprinkle that shit everywhere.
Like confetti.
I love that.
Yeah.
And anything that doesn't allow you to sprinkle your shit. your sparkle.
No, don't do that.
Everywhere.
Oh, and sprinkle your silly seeds.
Silly seeds. Go there. We'll go there instead. Were you just trying to create all that, please?
Yes.
Time's gone. Celine, right, Thank you, Johanna.
Yeah, thank you, Johanna. That didn't come out right. Celine, did you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. It's not about this subject. It's about, I will be very interesting maybe in another Zoom or something else about your point of view and how you live the fact that you are 4 people who live together and are doing the same activity and are facilitators, and how do you
we hate each other.
Contribution and competition.
We're competitive bitches and we hate each other.
It's awful.
Okay.
That is not the case whatsoever. There's a lot of contribution. There's a lot of body work.
Hey, don't give her the whole hangout now. She wanted a whole hangout.
Oh. See, she's a bully. We're going to kick her out.
I love it.
Add it to the invoice. There's a lot of contribution.
Yes.
And really we go with, am I giving too much information? I don't know what to say now. We really, it is about generosity of spirit, absolutely. And also just being willing to be us. So, you know, whether that is me being, cranky or whatever, and I go off and I do my own thing, or I say, hey guys, you know, would somebody be willing to facilitate me with this before I explode? Or Pernilla saying to me, oh, you know, this is going on in my body, can you ask me a question? You know, we do a lot of body work, there's a lot of contribution, there's a lot of creative, it's going on in my mouth. There's a lot of like creative conversations as well. And it really is about following the energy, like using these amazing access tools that we have and actually putting them, it's like walking your talk. You know,
maybe that's the name of the hangout.
Walking your talk. That's a great,
in the house of ladies.
Yeah.
Just let us know if you have any questions, you guys, and thank you so much for like taking your time, being here with us, being present with us, and like, wow, what a gift for us to be and receive this.
And thank you for being the superheroes of silly that you are. even if you haven't quite recognized it yet, but I
Yeah.
think you might have done by the end of the hour now.
Yeah, exactly. What capacities do you have that you have never acknowledged before that you can begin to tap into now and be in the world?
And exponentialize. And what if you turned it up? Whatever that looks like for you. And all you have to do is ask. Turn it up.
And please let us know what shows up for you guys. It's always fun to hear what's going on and stuff like that. And we'll send out the recording tonight or tomorrow. And thank you for you. So grateful.
Thank you. Have fun. Thank you. It was